Hello, this is Christine at Satya Wellness, and today I want to talk a little bit about best practices to help the immune system do the job that it was designed to do, which is to fight bacteria, viruses, and keep us generally healthy. So, what is it that you can do in order to help yourself? Well, it turns out there's actually lots of things we can do, and most of the time, some of them are pretty simple, and we tend to disregard these things as not being important enough. And we are thinking big picture when sometimes it's important to act at the micro level. So let's get back to some basics. What are things you can do to help increase your immune system and your health in general? The first one I would say always is food, because we make a decision as to whether we are going to build ourselves up or tear ourselves down pretty much 2 or 3 times a day, depending on how many meals you're eating. And that's on a daily basis. So every single day, when you bring this fork to your mouth, you get to decide whether what you are putting in is helpful or not so helpful. And I think it's also very good to remove the feeling of, guilt, because every now and again it is definitely possible to have something that is not perfect. I think perfection is highly overrated. We are not looking for perfection. It's actually the fastest road to destruction, because looking to attain perfection all the time is an impossible task, and it's actually doomed to fail. But doing something 80 to 90% of the time still leaves you, a little bit of room to wiggle to have something that is maybe not the best. Here and there is different from a daily decision. So food, yeah, it should be something that is quite obvious, but it is unfortunately not in the society we live in. And it's not that difficult. It should be consisting of all of the good micronutrients. So obviously protein. So whether you're a vegetarian, vegan, or not, protein come in all sorts of shapes and forms. Whether they are animal protein or plant protein, you need carbohydrates, and by that I don't need pounds of pasta or white bread, but I mean vegetables of every color of the rainbow and fruit. And you need good fat. And good fat, contrary to popular belief, does not make you fat, it makes you smart. Your brain is primarily made of fat, and it needs good fat to survive and thrive. So, food is extremely important. What we don't really need are things that are food like substances, which are promoted by food companies as masquerading as food. And these things are not necessary. So, if you shop, look for things that are fresh, that don't need a label, that you can recognize and use easily. The second thing to consider is stress. Obviously, under the circumstances right now that we are living in, there is a lot of stress, whether it's health related with this virus going around, whether it's politically related with all the stuff that's going on. It doesn't matter, which side of the aisle you might be on. There's stress everywhere, and there's definitely financial stress with all of the issues that have happened with this virus. So having a really good stress relief, or agreeing at least to not participating into everything that comes around, put the phone down, do not engage on everything that you see on Facebook or any social media for that matter, and just being able to put it away and go for a walk will go a long way in reducing the stress. If you are a current client of mine, you know that I talk about breathing and meditation a lot, because this has been scientifically and medically proven to help reduce stress and reduce blood pressure, reduce all sorts of these issues that we have that are caused by modern living. Breathing and meditation are things that have been done since the dawn of times. It is, has been practiced for thousands of years in the Ayurvedic tradition, and it is something that I highly encourage you to practice. And if you don't know how, you know where to find me. The fourth thing is exercise. I think that the pandemic has forced us to be indoor more when we should have been, and being outside and exercising is excellent. So, exercising means you don't need to run a marathon every day. I think that for a lot of people, exercise means pushing yourself until you can't any longer. And that's not what I mean. But exercising, and more to the point, functional exercise, where you use your body in ways that it's designed to work. So, doing squats, lunges, walking, swimming. You don't need to lift 500 pounds at a time in order to benefit from exercise. You just need to move. Think of what our ancestors used to do. They walked for miles and miles and miles until they found food. And once they had food, they rested because they needed to walk miles and miles and miles the next day to find more food. So they were in movement a lot. Today we are sedentary, and that does not help our state of health and, of course, our immune system. Number 5 is get a chiropractic adjustment. If you get a chiropractic adjustment, it releases or reinstates the communication system in your body. So think of a highway. Would you rather go down the highway where it's free and clear, or would you rather be stuck in a traffic jam? And a chiropractic adjustment releases the traffic jams in your spine, where the communication goes from your brain and all of your endocrine system down through your spine down to your organs. And as far as increasing your immune system, that is helpful too. And next, obviously, I want to talk about the right supplementation. So there's things that we can do that have been shown in studies. I do read studies coming out of Europe, particularly, where we know that some very specific supplements have had very good results in preventing and as well as healing whatever is going on with this virus. So vitamin C has definitely been shown to be super helpful. Ascorbic acid particularly, not so much the sodium ascorbate. Zinc has been useful, and melatonin. I'm not going to go into the science or the details here. I'm happy to talk about that if you are interested. But suffice to say that those have been shown to really help. I also love this graph that has been put together by someone I know, and it explains a little bit more in detail what some of these supplements do. So one supplement in particular is a transfer factor multi-immune, which I've been using in my practice for a few years now. And as you can see at the bottom, it has published research on that. And I'm happy to pass it along if someone is interested in looking at it. But it is really very, very beneficial to get the immune system in a good place. And it has to be neither too high nor too low. It has to do just the right thing. Cytoquel also has published research. It controls inflammation, which is crucial in that case. The liposomal C, we already talked about vitamin C earlier. The one other thing I want to talk about is the glutathione. Glutathione really helps, so to speak, move the toxins out of the system. And sometimes when we are low in glutathione, it does not allow that process to happen. So those are all really good things to know. It doesn't mean you have to take everything on those lists. It's just a very individual discussion that I would love to have with you. As you know, Satya Wellness has now moved to my home. I work mostly remotely. I haven't really actually seen anybody in person, but hopefully if things calm down a bit, it will be possible. I have an outside entrance to my office in my home, so it is a possibility. But we are offering regular consultation. I would be more than happy to help you find the mix that is right for you. The one thing I can guarantee you is that it is not business as usual as far as your immune system is concerned. This virus is not going anywhere any day soon, and I can only encourage you to do what you can do and be proactive, because the only person in charge of your health is you. We would be very happy to partner with you to help you get what is best so that you can get ready for the fall and winter, to get through this season, which will be interesting because it is what we normally call flu season. So this year might be a little more intense than usual. So now is the time to get your immune system in good order. So hopefully that has been helpful. We'd be happy to help you with any information you need. The email to reach me at is my first name, Christine, at satyawellness.com. And if you need to call, 978-430-6122. And I just want you to remember now more than ever that the slogan we use at Satya Wellness that we've used for years could not be more timely. Satya Wellness, it's your life. Be alive in it. We'll see you soon.